Hey fam, what's going on? It's Codiak here, back for another trailer reaction and analysis video, and I am super pumped. I mean super duper pumped because Temtem is just a few days away from the early access release. We've got 2 stress tests coming up. It's a busy time in January. It's the beginning of 2020, and we're already talking about great games like Temtem. But today, we got the official gameplay trailer for the early access. We're going to break it down. It's only a minute and change. We're going to break it down. We're going to talk about it. We're going to tear it apart. And of course, we're going to get to the bottom of what Temtem is all about. So stick around. Let's check out the trailer together. This is Temtem. I feel like I'm on an island.
If you want to be a great tamer, you must utilize all the tools available to you in the archipelago. Here's a quick look at some of our more in-depth systems for the more involved tamers. The 2v2 battle system allows for a much more strategic style of play. The stamina and synergy systems force players to plan out their moves in order to combo attacks and use defensive techniques for intense risk versus reward gameplay.
Really great aesthetics. Like ability aesthetics are wonderful.
The breeding center allows for a fully transparent look to raise more powerful and unique Temtem you can't find in the wild. Through breeding, newborn Temtem can inherit different aspects from their parents, such as techniques, traits, and single values. Some Temtem and attack techniques can only be acquired through the breeding center. And while you're out exploring, look for the ultra-rare Luma versions of your favorite Temtem with extra powerful stats. To aid in your hunt, look out for more information on our endgame area, which will feature new Temtem every week with higher Luma rates and better stat rolls. Temtem is designed from the ground up to innovate and push the boundaries of the creature collecting genre. Join us for our early access launch.
Wow. All right. So there was actually a lot of really good and useful information in there. Now, of course, all of the basics are there, right? Temtem, most combat, 99% of the combat is 2v2. We already knew that. We already knew there was breeding in the game. We already knew that there was stats and synergies and things like that. But let's go through it really quick and let's break it down. So first off, you get the MMO vibe right off the bat. You've got your Temtem companion. You see Mila and Trish in the background. We know that Temtem is classified as an MMO. Is it actually an MMO? That is a discussion for an entire other video. Yes, it is a massive multiplayer online sphere. You can only team up with one person at a time, though. So does that make it an MMO? Does it not? Hard to say. Leave your comments below. We can talk about it. So we get through this nice scene here, and then we get to the archipelagos. Exploring around, you see somebody sitting on a bench there with their Tems, and then we kick a little box, we get a little thing, and then boom, we're into a stat sheet. So this is actually a breeding screen that they implement before the breeding section of this video. And what you see here is the Tem on the left and the Tem on the right. You see the plus sign between them. So by combining these Tems, what do you get? Well, you get the Tem on the bottom with Lullaby and Scratch as the techniques, and you get these different single value traits. Now, SV's single values are the numbers that are associated with the different classifications of stats: HP, stamina, speed, attack, defense, special defense, right? So this is one instance of how the breeding system could work. You have a female on the left, a male on the right. What you get on the bottom is giving you a combination of those two. You can see that Scratch looks like Scratch doesn't come from anywhere. That's that whole unique ability. Lullaby, that's clearly coming from Tental, but Scratch isn't on the list there. So that's a new ability acquired through the breeding process for Kinu, the bottom Tem. Now that may come from Kinu on the top left, the female, or it could come from Tenal, or it could be a completely unique breeding element. So that's really cool. That's part of why breeding is so important in this game. All right, so we keep going through. We start talking about the breeding. We see all different eggs. We see a really cool Tem here named Kinu. Pretty cool looking Temtem. And then we go right into talking about battles. So we have a very brief moment of talking about breeding, a cool little Temtem, and then we're back into battles, 2v2 battles. As we said, we've seen these screenshots and these animations a million times before, talking about the different synergies here. These are 2 more advanced Tems. This is actually the one on the right here. I just finished cutting out for a graphic. It's a really cool Tem. It's got some really cool stats. Really, really neat. So the synergies, right? Combining your moves with the Tems that are on your side. So we've got a crystal Tem here on the bottom right. I believe that's a toxic Tem in the top, but we're using a neutral ability. How that ability plays into the Tems that are on your side of the field, that's called a synergy, right? If you're synergizing the move of your Tem with your partner Tem, you're going to get some added value, whether it be a combination of moves, a new benefit to that move, added damage. That is what the synergy is all about. That is going to be a game changer in competitive play. So if you're interested in competitive play, you have to know about the synergy system. So they talk about that very, very briefly. They talk about that here. So you see how that happened? That happened so quick, you may not have caught it. Okay, so we've got an Earth Tem on the bottom here. We've got a Water Tem on the top. Because they're using Aqua Stone, you can see it here in real time. There's that Earth path that goes over to the Water Tem. Boom, well, Aqua Stone, right? Combining the water and the earth elements. And then boom, you're doing added damage because that Tem that we're attacking is a Fire Tem. There's also added damage there. Boom, absolutely massive, massive ability. Okay, then we have another ability here, Bark Shield. It's a really cool looking ability. It's not overly over the top, if you will. It's just a really cool looking ability. All right, so we get a little bit of that. We do a little team move here, and then we're back into the breeding zone. Very cool looking breeding area, big open space. We get a couple eggs. We talk about breeding once again, and then we talk about rare Temps. This is actually a Tem I haven't seen before. It may just be because I haven't been paying attention to this one. Valash, really cool looking Temtem, almost like a, I don't know, a fox mixed with a little, there's some crystal components in there, mixed with like a fox with a raccoon. It's a really cool looking Temtem. We get another breeding screen here where we look at Mushi on the right and Platypet on the top left. And what we get is Platypet on the bottom with 3 different abilities. It looks like, let's see here, Shrill Voice and Urashal come from Mushi, and Finbeat most likely comes from Platypet. I can't say for certain. So it's a combination of them. You're looking at those singular values, how those all play out. And that's what you get in the breeding system. Now, we don't talk about the degradation system. They leave out the degradation system while they go through all of these different breeding scenarios, but degradation is a huge part of the breeding process in this game, and you're going to have to learn about that. We are going to be doing an entire series called the Temtem Survival Guide. This is going to teach you everything you need to know about this game, soup to nuts, big topics, small topics, everything. Livin and I are super passionate about this game. We're super excited about this game. We're playing the stress test tomorrow and on Sunday. If you're watching the video, you know, the stress test is probably over. This is the Temtem I was talking about before. Gyalis, really cool looking Tem. And then we start talking about the Lumatems, right? So these are the shinies, the equivalent of shinies. They have added stats, they have added value in them, of course, and then they start talking about the end game area. This is something that I didn't know anything about. New Tems coming every week, new events every week. That is a very exciting thing. We get a couple more snapshots of all the creatures in the areas around the archipelagos, and then we get hit, boom, bang, with the end screen. Temtem hitting early access January 21st. I will tell you guys from experience, this game is already in a great place. For it to be hitting early access with very little competition around it is only going to be a good thing for Temtem, for Crema, and for the Humble Bundle team. You can pick this up on Steam. It is coming to other platforms eventually. You have to remember this was a Kickstarter game that got over $500,000 in backing. The team is adjusting. The team is making changes. They have done a very good job as developers communicating with the community, keeping everybody in the loop. It's a very exciting time to be in the Monster Collection genre. So I hope you guys will check out Temtem. You can join us for early access. We are going to be playing on Legion Gaming. We're going to be creating a Legion group within, I forget what they're called, the party system or the I don't know, club system, I think it's called. We're going to be creating the Legion Gaming Club in there. So if you want to join that, join the Discord, hook up with our Temtem team. We've got a lot of excited people ready to play this game. And of course, guys, leave your comments in the section below if you have any questions or comments or concerns or whatever. And of course, thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. My name is Codiak, and from everyone here at Legion Gaming, thanks for watching and play on.